Hello and welcome to my channel. In this tutorial I wanted to show you a stitch. Well, it's a border for those of you that you want to put some border to whatever project you want to do. Well, it's not that difficult. It's a little bit weird, to be honest. Too bad this one, it doesn't, you cannot make it into a stitch, like to work, let's say a blanket. So this is the front and this is the back. And I made with the green color. It's really nice. If you, for example, make a, how do you say, a hat, and you want the border, in the beginning, you can make this like this, or the cuffs here, or the wrists, the sweaters, or whatever, blankets, if you want to make. It's really nice. It goes really fast. It's a little bit kind of weird the way we have to do this, but it's very, very fun. Okay, now let's say we're gonna put chains multiples of 4 plus one more. So I chain my multiples of 4 and I'm gonna chain one more. Now what we're gonna do, please put the video on the full screen, that way you're gonna see a little bit, let's say, closer. We're gonna skip the first chain, this one, and into the second we're gonna go in there and we're gonna insert our hook, pull up a loop, go into the next chain, pull up a loop, go into the next chain, pull up a loop, go into the next chain, and pull up a loop. When you have 5 loops on your hook, then you're gonna grab the yarn and you're gonna pull the yarn to the first 2 loops. First 2, grab the yarn, second 2 loops, then the next 2 loops, and the next 2 loops. And now you can work like this, or you can, if you it's easy for you to put it like that, But now if you see, we have 1, 2, 3 lines here. So we're gonna insert our hook into the first line here, this one. Insert your hook, pull up a loop. The next line is here, go underneath that line, pick up a loop. The last line is here, go underneath that line, pick up a loop. You have 4 loops, and the 5th loop should be into the next chain. So we have 5 loops, and now we're gonna grab the yarn and we're gonna pull the yarn to the first 2 loops. Grab the yarn and pull the yarn to the next 2, next 2, and next 2. It's gonna look like this. So again, we have here 1, 2, 3 lines. So we're gonna go, if it's easy for you to work like this, work like that. If it's easy to turn like this, and you'll see 1, 2, 3. So we're gonna go underneath the first line here, pick up a loop, go to the next line, pick up a loop, go to the next line, pick up a loop. You have 4 loops on your hook. The 5th loop should be into the next chain. So go into the next chain, pick up a loop. You have 5 loops. Grab the yarn and pull the yarn to the first 2 loops, next 2 loops, grab the yarn and pull the yarn to the next 2, and the last 2. And again we have 1, 2, 3 lines here. So you're gonna go underneath the first line, pick up a loop, go into the second line, pick up a loop, the third line, pick up a loop. You have 4 loops. The 5th loop should be into the next chain. So go into the next chain, pick up a loop. You have 5 loops. Now grab the yarn and pull the yarn to the first 2 loops. Grab the yarn and pull through the next 2, next 2 loops, and next 2 loops. It's gonna look like this. And again, we have these 1, 2, 3 lines. So go underneath the first one here, pick up a loop, go to the next line here, pick up a loop, go to the third line, this one. Yeah, you work like this because it's kind of weird to do that. Pick up a loop. We have 4 loops. The 5th loop, you go into the next chain. Insert your hook there, pick up a loop. You have 5 loops, and now start to pull the yarn to the first 2 loops, the next 2, the next 2, and this thing is gonna curl up, and the last 2. Okay, now again 1, 2, 3 lines. So we're gonna go first through this line, go in there, pick up a loop, go to the next line, underneath that line, pick up a loop, go to the third line, pick up a loop, and the next loop should be pulled into the next chain. 5 loops. Now grab the yarn, pull the yarn to the first 2 loops, the next 2, the next 2, and the next 2. It's gonna look like this. So you see you have this this line here, 1, 2, and 3. So it's gonna be much easier to work a little bit like this, yeah, kind of, you know, you go like this, pick up a loop, next, pick up a loop, next, pick up a loop, and the next loop should be into the next chain. You should have always 5 loops, 2, 4, 5. So grab the yarn, pull the yarn to the first 2 loops, next 2 loops, next 2 loops, and the last 2. So you're gonna do again. Go into the first, underneath that first line, pick up a loop. Let me hold it like this. Go into the second line, pick up a loop, and the third line, pick up a loop, and the 5th loop into the next chain. So you have 5 loops. Grab the yarn and pull the yarn to the first 2 loops, the next 2, next 2, and the last 2, and you have 1 chain left, let's say. So you're gonna do the same. You go underneath this line, and this line. So go first to the through the first line, pick up a loop. Go underneath the second line, pick up a loop. The third line, pick up a loop. And now you have the last chain. So we need 1 more loop. So we go into the last chain, pick up a loop. We have 5 loops on the hook. Grab the yarn and pull the yarn to the first 2 loops, the next 2 loops, and the next 2, and that's it. You reach the end. Well, when you do this, maybe you should work a little bit tighter, and that will close a little bit tight. And this is it. Too bad we cannot do this as a stitch. I was thinking to do this as a stitch, chain 1, 2, 3, and then work like into the second chain, pull up a loop, the third, pick up a loop, go into the next, the first. Yeah, well, I don't know, I'm trying to figure out, but I think we need 4 chains when we pull the, make these 4 chains and then work into the third chain and so on. But well, this is just for a border, this stitch. So if you like to make this border, you can do this. It's really nice, but it curls up like you want to do, like I said here, you know, it's really nice. Just a little bit, the end. Yeah, it's really, really easy to make this one, and it has these lines that are really nice. So if you want, you can give a try, make a border for your hat, your blanket, whatever you think that you can put border on. Yeah? Okay, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.